Welcome back, everybody, to another video. Today, I want to talk about Jedi 3, guys. If you look at the calendar right now, we are one day away from Star Wars Day, which is incredible. And historically, this is exactly when Electronic Arts and Respawn love to drop something big. But this time it's different. I've been doing some research, and over the last few days, a massive wave of insider leaks has hit the internet about Star Wars Jedi 3. And if even half of this is true, this isn't going to be just a sequel. Let's start with what has actually been confirmed. Cameron Monaghan, the actor behind Cal Kestis, has already said they're working on the next game. But the important part is EA officially called it the final chapter of the Star Wars Jedi story. And that wording matters. It matters more than anybody actually thinks if they really sit down and be like, "Oh, what does that mean?" It's not Jedi Survivor 2. This is the ending, which means expectations are through the roof. A bigger story, more emotional stakes, and the conclusion that actually hits. Because let's be honest, after Fallen Order and Survivor, the series is now one of the biggest Star Wars games in modern gaming. But there's a red flag. Stig Asman, the guy who directed both previous games, has left Respawn right before the finale, which is worrisome. Because now the big question is Jedi 3 going to feel like the same? Or are they going to take it into a more darker area of Star Wars? Now let's get into the leaks. This is where it's going to get kind of crazy. The biggest theme going around, and the one I really want to see, is the game is going to be more personal. It's not going to be just him trying to save the galaxy. I want it to focus on him saving himself. It's going to be focusing on hopefully family, loss, responsibility, and especially an internal balance. There's even rumors that Kata, Bode's daughter, that Cal kind of, I guess, adopted, is going to play a major role as maybe a student in like an academy on Tanalore. I don't know. Or possibly, and this is something that I really hope happens, Cal has a daughter, like a biological daughter, hopefully with Marin. Now, again, that part is not confirmed, but it lines up with where Cal is mentally. Because after Survivor, he's not the same guy that was light toned in Survivor. He was more lighter and he enjoyed himself more. This time he's tired, it's heavier, and it's way closer to the dark side. And there's one more theory that I think that could be one of the greatest things that they do, and that's the white lightsaber theory. If you know Star Wars lore, you know that it's not random. A white lightsaber comes from healing or purifying a corrupted red kyber crystal. Now, in the Ahsoka Tano novel, the book Ahsoka, on the planet Rada, an Inquisitor had attacked Ahsoka, and she defeated the Inquisitor, and she took the two crystals that came from that blade and turned them white by healing them with the Force. And that is how we have her two white lightsabers in the Ahsoka TV show, Star Wars Rebels. That's how we know about that. Now imagine this. We're going to break the game up into three sections. Part 1, something hurts Cal in a way that destroys him. Now I can only think of a few things that happen. Marin's death, or Kata's death, or something even worse. Maybe he meets a Jedi that we don't know about and gets gunned down right in front of him by some Imperial warlord, and he loses control, and his crystal turns red. And the entire story becomes personal about him trying to fix himself, not just physically, but spiritually. And when he finally purifies it, that white lightsaber then becomes a symbol of his entire journey. Not just gameplay, but storytelling at its peak, which I think would be a fantastic way for them to round off the Jedi series. Another way they could round the Jedi series off, a way I don't want them to do it, but a way that would make sense for what we know about Star Wars as of right now, is Cal Kestis' death. I could see him sacrificing himself like Kanan Jarrus did in Star Wars Rebels. Now, I don't want that to happen, but it makes sense. It would absolve him for being anywhere near the sequel trilogy. I think, if I'm sitting here correctly, if I'm thinking about this correctly, let me actually look this up. I want to see the storyline or timeline. So, okay, I found the timeline I needed. It starts around 14 BBY before the Battle of Yavin. That's how the Star Wars timeline is centralized. 9 BBY is Jedi Survivor. Now, the original trilogy is 0 to 4 years before the Battle of Yavin. So, what we could do is it could be another 5-year gap. Or what I think is this is going to pick up immediately after Jedi Survivor. I think we're going to pick up maybe a week or a month after Jedi Survivor. That way, these characters and all the emotions that we felt with the death of major characters in the story, such as Seer, is going to be fresh. And he's going to be in a more fragile state, which I really like the idea of, but I could also see them taking another time gap. Kata's grown up some. Now she's part of the crew, and now they're doing more jobs for a more solidified rebellion. I think that would be a really fun idea. But let's talk gameplay. Because apparently, and again, I don't know how I feel about this, we might be getting a double blaster stance, which would be interesting. And it makes perfect sense. Because if you think about it, there was a couple of Jedi who took the, or actually no, we're just gonna use Kanan Jarrus as an example. I'm not gonna go in super complicated, but Kanan uses the blaster, hiding from the not hiding from the Force, but to disguise himself. What if Cal takes that a step further? Something happens. He doesn't want to go into the dark side, so he abandons his lightsaber for a small period of the game, and he just uses a blaster. I think it would be a fun idea, but I do not think it should stay for long. Jedi is supposed to have lightsaber content, combat, so definitely an idea. He might actually avoid using his lightsaber. So, and one more thing I want to talk about is the possible, in I would say, initiation of a morality system that could change everything. Now, it is the most controversial leak. It's a full morality system where you can spare enemies, execute them, and use dark side abilities. And the game actually reacts to it. Think of Ghost of Tsushima, but now here's the risk. If the choices don't matter, what's the point? You need to have these choices matter. Like, again, I hesitate to go there, but either saving Grease or saving Marin, or saving Kata or saving Marin, or saving the rebellion from an Imperial attack, or going after the main bad guy. Like, these have to be game changing stories, which would add to the replayability. I think it would be a fun thing to add, but I don't want it in the game. I don't think that it's the best idea, but yeah. And we got to talk about Marin, cuz they took a really big step for Jedi Survivor. Cal and Marin actually kissed. Their relationship is more solid. Marin is his rock. Marin is the equivalent of, like, I don't know, Anakin to Obi-Wan, or Anakin to Ahsoka. Ahsoka being the only person that could possibly reach Anakin. Unfortunately, we never really got to see it. I personally believe that had Ahsoka been at the Jedi Temple during Order 66, her and Obi-Wan could have stopped Anakin's turn and made him see reason. You get Anakin, Padme, and Ahsoka and Obi-Wan in the same room, he's going to be a cuddle bear. But back to what we were talking about, Marin represents everything: his humanity, his emotional anchor, his connection to the light. If this game is about balance, then she's going to be the only one holding him together. So, when are we going to actually see any of this? Now, tomorrow, like I said, is Star Wars Day. There's a strong chance we get something. I would be happy with a title card and a name of the game. Probably not a full trailer. I recommend that a full trailer and possibly a release date would come at Star Wars Celebration in 2027. We get the game by 2028. Now, that's still like 2-ish years away, but it's been 3 years since we got 3 years since we got Survivor, roughly, and Jedi Fallen Order came out in 2019. We got Jedi Survivor in 2023, I believe, was Jedi Survivor. Um, so that's like 4 years. So this would be around the 4 to 5 year mark, which makes sense because the lead developer and director left, so they had to find a new guy. That might take a year, and then story and ironing things out. I could see a 4 to 5 year gap between games, which would make sense with a 5 year gap between putting us like a year before A New Hope. So we wouldn't act like, I don't know. I think it's a good idea, but a logo, a short reveal, maybe. As for release, yeah, what I was saying. That's one thing, is the late 2026 belongs to GTA 6. Whether or not you like GTA 6, it's gonna be the game of the year. It's what people are looking forward to, and no game is gonna want to compete with that. So I'm reckoning 2027 is when we get uh, something serious. So let me know if you guys like this video. Let me know if I should do more of this. I will be doing any news on Star Wars news tomorrow, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the future of Star Wars. Jedi 3, Ahsoka Season 2, Star Wars Zero Company, the Knights of the Old Republic remake. Star Wars fans are winning. Also, I will be going live tomorrow with Star Wars Battlefront, celebrating May the 4th on the battlefield with my brothers. So definitely hit that like button, subscribe. It's a brand new channel. I sort of left my old one. But subscribe, and you can join me on the Star Wars journey. Have a great day, everybody. Bye bye.